Hey everyone, my name is Anna. Welcome to my channel. This video is going to be about my experience being an INFP personality type and also a mom. So how do I perceive that my INFP personality type expresses itself in the way that I parent and in the way that I am with my family? Thank you so much to Daniil for suggesting the topic of this video. I'm really happy to talk about it because it's an area of my life that's really comforting to me, and I'm just really in the mood to talk about something comforting right now. I am the mom to two kids. There's Max, who's 9 years old. He'll be 10 in March. And there's Ruby, who's 8 years old. She's born at the end of November. I am not a single mom. I have been with the father of my children for almost 14 years. We're still together. My home life is relatively happy and harmonious. It's an area of my life that's comforting and stable for the most part. I mean, it's a real life, but for the most part, my home life is an area where I draw a lot of support and strength from, whereas my relationship with my work and my relationship with the world has been really difficult and painful and mysterious and uncertain, but also, you know, invigorating and exciting and kind of triumphant in a way, I would say. I had my kids when I was 33 and 35 years old. I did not enjoy being pregnant. Some people do, lots of people do. I didn't. I just kind of survived it. I didn't enjoy feeling encumbered. I didn't enjoy feeling fatigue or nausea. I'm someone who's extremely restless physically. I love to move. I love to feel free, and I love to feel independent. So I didn't like being pregnant. I thought I would. I had a lot of ideas before being a mom of how I would be and how I would feel, and I think probably most of it isn't true. Most of it was just a fantasy. One of the ways that I think my INFP personality type really shows in the way that I am as a mom is in my need for independence and introversion, my need for retaining my individuality. A funny thing is that before I became a mom, I think I had a relatively unconscious fantasy or assumption that becoming a mom would kind of change my character, and that I sort of pictured myself more extroverted, more welcoming, more warm, more open, and that did not happen at all. Like, I jokingly say to myself, not only did I retain my temperament that I had before, but it got worse. So my need for retaining my individuality, my need for independence, and my need for introversion, which I consider to be very INFP personality type expressions, not only did they not go away, but they got worse, I would say. When my kids were babies, it was really hard to find any balance, as any parent will tell you. When your kids are babies, you're just in service to them 100%. I was depressed. I would say I got pretty depressed over the first couple of years of being just a mom. I felt pretty empty, drained, and all of that is pretty standard for most parents. But as an introvert in need of that space and time and solitude, I was definitely getting pretty down. So now that my kids are a bit older and they're in school and they can do activities with their friends and that kind of stuff, I have that balance now in my life where I'm able to have solitude and I'm able to be creative and I'm able to have my life independent of being a mom and my life independent of being in a family, so I can express my individuality and I have time to go inside, which is like crucial to my vitality. When I take care of my need for separateness, I'm able to be generous and patient and really open with my children. Another funny thing is that as an introvert, even a group of 4, which is my family, for me is too many people. It's still a group, and I start to shut down and I get really quiet and reserved and I go into my internal world and I barely hear what they're saying. Like, they can be talking to me and I don't even hear them. So yeah, the introversion has continued well into motherhood, and I find 4 people too many people. I'm definitely willing to live with it because I love them. Another way that I think that I'm very typical INFP in the way that I'm a parent is that I'm really not strict. I don't care a lot about the structure and the surface and the form of things. I care about the values, and I'm firm about values, but there's so many details that I don't care about. I have ideals about the way that we treat each other. You know, my values of kindness and respect and love and humility. That's what I care about. And I think that's pretty typical INFP too, a very live and let live. And I think my greatest strengths are really like my heart and my understanding and my empathy, my ability to be human and to live in a state of wonder and joy with my children. So yeah, all in all, I feel very cliche INFP as a parent. My need for solitude, my inability to be in a group, scampering off to be alone all the time, wanting to retain my independence, wanting to retain my creativity. And my identity doesn't come from being a mom and a partner. My identity comes from being myself and from expressing my individuality. And I think that's very typical for an INFP too. So for me, maintaining that balance where I have a me life and a family life is super important in order for me to continue to be generous. As much as my temperament hasn't changed at all, I have become really responsible for the way that I am because I'm responsible for the well-being of my family. So they know about my idiosyncrasies and they know about the things that I need to be sane, and I don't make it about them. They know what my strange ways are and what my needs are, because I'm able to articulate that to them and make sure they know it's not them and that it's just me wanting to be sane. So that's like a summary of the way that I perceive myself being a typical INFP mom. I hope you enjoyed the video. Much love to you. Take care of yourselves. I hope you find some comfort in all the craziness of being a human on this planet right now. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.